Claire Stapleton worked at Google for 12 years. She began with enthusiasm for the tech company's mission, but she began to feel that Google was not living up to its mission. In 2018, she helped organize the much publicized Google walkout, which protested the company's mishandling of sexual harassment claims. She says organizing the protest cost her her job, claim that Google denies. She is now a critic of the company that is basically the second richest in the world with a market capitalization of over $4 trillion and almost 200,000 employees.
Her book is called Don't Be Evil, Bad Bosses, Fake Promises, and My Escape from Big Tech, a biting memoir of 12 years inside Google. Claire joins us now. Thanks for being with us.
Thank you so much for having me. It's exciting.
So, Claire, we keep hearing about, the smartest kids at your school all get hired at Google, right? But are they hiring everyone just to keep them from another company not getting them? Or is it these endless perks that are luring everyone there? Talk about that.
Yeah, I mean, I think when I started in 2007, Google kind of thought it was reinventing the company and the campuses that they were building around the world, but really in Silicon Valley was the main kind of heart of it. Kind of were designed to replicate universities. So it was all about young people. And there'd be, Taylor Swift was coming through and Obama came on the campaign tour. There was fresh food. It was sort of locally sourced. And the message of the time, which I think, tech does still to some extent hold on to, is that we've got to capture the best talent because the best coders and the best engineers and the best business people will help us, in our quest for world domination. And yeah, so it was a very intoxicating place to go. And it still is a massive, massive employer that a lot of people feel very lucky to get a job working for.
You write about the internal messaging that was given to you over and over again, this family culture here. But was there a moment that you recall where you thought, this is not living up to this message?
Yeah, I mean, I think when I came back from maternity leave in 2018 and the world felt differently, I was working at YouTube and I always was a kind of company cheerleader, but working at YouTube, my job was really to project what a positive effect YouTube was having on society. But I got a briefing every single day of sort of all the worst parts of humanity that were surfacing on YouTube. And YouTube, was trying to kind of police its content and moderate it. But just the kinds of things that you'd see every single day, to me, felt like, wow, there's a bit of a jump between going out there and saying, we're saving the world and what is actually happening right here on our own platform.
You talk about these golden handcuffs, which is kind of like why people don't leave. Talk about that.
Yeah, I think it's even more intense now because the tech industry has really started doing waves of layoffs. And sometimes they say it's performance oriented. Sometimes they say AI just selected who goes. So now people are really holding on to their jobs. Google has incredible benefits. If you're a mom or you want to have kids, I mean, it's a great place to go for a long maternity leave. There's these great things about, these tech companies that really try to take care of their people. However, how do you leave a job like that? Say you're in a toxic work environment. Say you have a manager that you really can't get out from under the thumb of. There's lots of kind of classic politics and toxic stuff that happens in these huge, huge corporations with unlimited budgets. And yet it's really, really hard to say, I'm going to make the choice and leave.
Is the toxicity that you're describing, does that come from the very, very top, or is this just pervasive among all the employees?
I think that I had an old boss that said, the fish rots from the head down. And the book reflects a bit on how the leadership of the company became more political and more toxic in certain ways. And I think that, Google is just like any other corporation. There are challenges in any work environment. I think what's unique about Google is that Google set out to really wrap the work in this sort of moral and ethical language. Don't be evil. We're not going to be a conventional company. And that's really where the rupture came with employees, where the employees said, hey, this is starting to feel like it's really falling short of its ideals. What about everything you kind of promised us? So it's sort of foisted by its own petard, shall we say.
Yeah, so I mean, big companies in general, people sometimes, we hate big corporate America, but what your title of your book is Don't Be Evil. So what was it, is that overstating it, or do you really think Google was evil?
I think it's meant to be sort of tongue-in-cheek that Google kind of brought in a huge, huge swath of young people saying we're going to be a different kind of company. The way we're going to act in the world is going to show up in a way that's sort of righteous and solving humanity's biggest problems. I don't think Google or any corporation is fully evil or fully wrong in anything it does. It's just constrained by the same sort of incentives and growth targets that any corporation is. I think that the way that Google treated the women who set out to hold Google to its stated principles around creating an equitable workplace was very, very disappointing. And that's really where my kind of disillusionment stems from.
So real quick, yeah, we have just about 20 seconds left. You escaped big tech, but what are you doing now?
Well, I had my second kid and I became basically a stay-at-home mom, and I started doing sort of freelance, kind of the same kind of communications work that I always did. And then I started embarking on writing this book and reclaiming my voice, and I'm still very much a kind of full-time mom.
That's great.
Living a sort of very different life than my boss babe life.
Well, that's great. The book is Don't Be Evil. For more, you can follow Claire on Instagram. Thanks for being with us, Claire.
Thank you so much.